Good evening. Hi, this is Anjanette Levert, and I am, uh, you know what? Let me stop and change that because I have a whole script planned for you. So we're going to start again. Good evening. Happy Friday to you. Thank you for coming to this virtual gathering. I am Anjanette Levert, and I'm standing in for JT Takaji, the Executive Director of Third World Newsreel. Third World Newsreel is an alternative media arts organization that fosters the creation, appreciation, and dissemination of independent progressive media by and about all expressions of people of color and our allies. Third World is the distributor of this wonderful film that allows us a peek inside the world of B-girls called All the Ladies Say. Shortly, we will hear from revolutionary and visionary artists, dancers, and B-girls. Creating this discussion is B-girl and director of All the Ladies Say, Ana Rokafella Garcia, aka Rock, and the film's editor, media diva, Melissa Wolto. So if you've missed the screening prior to this conversation, there's still time afterwards to see it until 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. In the meantime, we will show you a trailer. Again, thank you for coming and supporting independent BIPOC documentary filmmakers. Up next will be Rock and Melissa, but now, the trailer.
LA connection, all the way to San Ho, and back to New York, the birthplace.
Used to be a time when we would call young ladies. Young ladies, clap your hands. All the ladies, all the ladies in the house say ow. If the girl rocked on the floor, to me, that's who be her.
B-girl, break girl, B-boy, break on the beat. A person who breaks on the beat. That's all the way back from Cool Herc.
Cardboard, we didn't even have linoleum. We had sections of cardboard sections around the party and around it. So, you know, it's a different world what we see today. So,
When the guy started talking, I was like, I want to do that.
I think breaking B-girling has definitely helped me with my recovery, mostly because of breaking, because I want to break, I want to practice. So after I do my therapy, I go to the gym and I'll start, I'll start off with a little bit of this, work a little harder, and so I wanna build up the strength to break again.
And when I saw her, I went crazy too because I didn't know her did that. I had no idea. And when I saw her, I was like, she can do that. I can do that. I want to do that. I was so hyped.
I probably could have been married by now. But it was a hard situation where, I had my passion. This was my passion. And unfortunately, he didn't quite get it.
You're a b-boy, but you still have to address yourself as being a man in this community.
It takes people like us to do the things we have to try to keep it alive and existence.
You need to look at it like, I acquired a skill. I acquired discipline and focus. Now let me take this focus and address the issues that I have.
I feel like I'm representing this lineage of dance from people who came before me. So breaking means something totally different to me now. It's so deep.
If you want this, if you want to be fulfilled completely, then you're gonna have to take all the heat that comes with that.
Yay. So exciting.
That was awesome. I miss all you guys so much.
Yeah, and it's like watching you in the film just reminds me, it takes me back. So big hug to
Yeah.
Melissa, big hug to you, Aiko. Man, it seems like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it seems like it was so yesterday. So yesterday. I can remember it like it was, yeah, like everything. I can see it in my head. It's so, wow.
Yeah. And I know when I first asked Martha Diaz, I said, I have a bunch of tapes. I can't make a film, Martha. What should I do? Because both me and Quickstep, my husband, were like, yo, this is a movie. This is a movie. And yeah, we had gone to these 6 cities. And Martha was like, Melissa Alto. That's who you need to reach out to. And I was like, oh, yeah? Oh, well, let's get that email. Let's get that phone call going.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Thank you again, Melissa.
Amazing.
And Jeanette, thank you for the interview. I mean, just putting this all together in Third World Newsreel. And
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you. Yes.
Well, listen, so I have seen the film, and I was just so impressed. And one of the things that I have really been thinking about is women as actually visionaries. Um, that's usually or stereotypically created. Often that's a descriptor that's used for men. But one of the things that has been, talked about here recently, especially in this election year, with so many women being elected, or most recently, is that women are actually visionaries because we think of things that haven't been done yet and decide it is happening, right? And then we go for it. And so that's what I really thought about with you all and watching this film. And so the first thing that I really want to talk about or ask a question about is really this kind of this push and pull between male versus female, who can do it better, or that sort of thing. And because of course I just think it's it's like the same conversation of like one language versus another. It's actually not a competition. It's just what is. But that's that's a dynamic that kept coming up in the film, like boy B boys against B girls, right? And that's a dynamic that kept being set up. So if you could talk a little bit about like where that comes from, and particularly how it has evolved from you all, and then what's happening now with young ladies who are coming up.
yeah, I think any of us can answer that, Melissa too, if you want to jump in after either of us speak on it, because filmmaking is also kind of exposed to that same comparison. For me, when I first saw hip hop, I noticed that there were more guys. I know, I noticed that. But I also knew that my mom wouldn't let me out on the street. And so there was a limitation that I just had just growing up. I couldn't be out late. I couldn't be out on my own. And so a lot of the things that happened were after dark or were outside or somewhere. And so I knew I had a disadvantage, which made me even work harder to be amazing or try to, catch up whatever I missed that happened in the weekend. So I was aware of that, super aware. But I also know that in a Latin family, my brother had more, leeway, whereas me and my sister, not so much. So I just knew that this was something that I was going to have to deal with, whatever career I chose. But because I chose hip hop, I kind of knew I had to work twice as hard. I just knew it. And, I was happy to see Beat Street. I was happy to see other women rapping, So I think those were uh, things that pushed me, like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. And then felt empowered to then teach other girls, like, look, you see me? That's you. You go do it now. I'll help you. So that's just what I pretty much have to say about that. But I feel like there's always been that comparison, even outside of hip hop, but it really exists. in hip hop. It really does, and I'm fortunate to have lasted this long, you know. But anybody else, you know, wanna add to that?
Aiko.
Me, huh? Okay. Nah, yeah, I kind of piggybacking on your what you said, Rock, being younger and in the house and only can go out for so. But in the neighborhoods, you know, I'm from California, so we had neighborhoods groups in our neighborhood. So we had like a few groups that practiced like in the park or practice DJing out of their bedroom window, and so it was just like an atmosphere, you know, and no, there wasn't a lot of girls or women doing events or you know, in groups or solos. The ones we did have, we really liked, but you know, secretively, you're thinking, you know, well, one day I could, you know, battle her or something, you know, or whatever. But it's not really, for me, it wasn't just about her. It was about him, and them. You know, it was across the board. But like you said, it was more acceptable. Okay, let's just talk about. I'm in high school. It's the '80s, mid '80s, early '80s. Anyway, it was early '80s. Anyway, so and you know, in the circles, we call them circles because they ended up being circles, but you try to have it as big as possible so people could dance. And usually in California, you're popping, you're strutting, you're waving, you know, people break it down, whatever, it's popping. So most girls don't go in there for fear of being, you know, made fun of or, you know, told to get out or you shouldn't have did that. Now everybody knows you suck. I mean, you know, so it's that whole mentality of you're a girl, so you do have to work 10 times or 100 times as hard. Or you have to develop something that they can't be like, that sucked. They could be like, oh my God, I never seen that before. That was for a girl, but still she could battle them and oh wow, you know.
Right.
So and we had some girls. So I was fortunate to see that. And then was able then to say, no, I could shoot she and then her and them, the girls, there were girl groups too. There wasn't a high number of them, but there were some. So yeah, like rock, it's the same idea. But yeah, you didn't want to be shunned or made fun of. And of course, in the world of, you know, event throwing and coordinating, you know, different events, it's the same idea. There's a few of us, but we can still make it work. I actually was mentored by an ex-dancer. I still call him a dancer but he hadn't been dancing for years, but still the impact he had and the impression he made on me was huge. So that's why I got involved in the community centers and the events and event planning and things like that. But he brought me on and showed me that, you know, first of all, it wasn't like for a girl. No, for a lady, but here's what I'm doing. Let's try to, you know, get you in on this and this is how I do it. So I was fortunate in that, but I did see throughout my event planning career or throwing career that other people who were growing up around my events started doing events and then became a me versus them event type of situation, which is really, to me, like you said, it's always a competition or it's always a, you know, they get more funding because they happen to be guys who are friends with other guys and other communities who have businesses to offer in means of getting funding and such. And yeah, it was very visible. It was very visible, very blatant and in your face. But that didn't, you know, you got to be a certain type of woman, like we had spoken before about, or girl, doesn't matter, to say, you know what, that's fine, but I'm in my lane and I'm doing my thing, and I'm not comparing because your event is just as important as my event. My event is just as important, and go ahead and you do you, I do me, and thank God we all have something to do, right? So I'm just like, it is what it is, but you're not gonna stop me, and I'm never gonna stop. I would never let any kind of intimidation, and I've been put out there. Let me tell you, there's video proof, and it's ridiculous the type of things that you have to go through. I mean, I could talk about this forever in the sense of someone trying to dirty my name, me being the only in that area that's a female doing events of this type, right? And so I'm being made fun of and being put out there being a mother and having to bring her daughter as a single parent to an event that I was only supposed to be judging. I ended up hosting. And whoever's listening, who knows, they know, whatever. And I ended up judging, hosting at the same time because one of their people left, right? And then in the end, I don't even get paid for it because there's some kind of vendetta or problem. You know, I may have said something on the mic, you know, at my event following that. Like, hey, man, what's up? Where's my money? I'm honest. I'm not ashamed to say I said it. Yeah, I said it, but I said it in a funny, playful manner. But you know, it's real. Like I was a single mother at the time, and I'm like, I did all kinds of work for you, and no, it's not okay, and no, I'm not quiet. And then the video comes out and makes fun of me, and I'm like, I'm not hurt. I'm hurt because you chose. We've had a personal relationship. You chose to do this, and you know better. I mean, that's okay. I take it. I take it for the team, but I'm still gonna come back. I'm still gonna do me, and you do you, and you'll have to swallow that later. You know.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real. And this is in the 90s. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, Melissa, just to bring you into this, because, you know, Rock started off by saying it's like, it's actually not just, you know,
Hip hop.
in hip hop and in this world, but in like, it's, what is it? It is the water that we swim in. You know, it's just like everywhere. And so if you could talk a little bit about, you know, your experience, you know, knowing these women for so long, because you got to meet them first on tape and then in real life, and it's been, you know, a journey since then, right? So if you could talk a little bit about that, that would be really fantastic.
Sure. So the interesting thing is that I've worked in hip hop as far as documentaries for quite some time. Probably 20 years. And
you do not look it at all. You're looking like you're in your 20s.
Okay. And we love that hair. And we love that hair.
Well, I also am half Puerto Rican, so you know.
Way.
But what was going on usually in the 90s and in the 2000s in particular, I was doing a lot of different documentaries, but I was also trying to focus on working with women filmmakers and creating an aesthetic that was particular to our voice, our message, our vision. And it's one of the reasons actually that I have, you know, this kind of green screen setup, because at the time I was also a VJ, and not in the MTV method, but you know, when you go to nightclubs or you go to a music festival and you see all those incredible animations and stuff on the different screens, I was also doing that. And I was one of the few women in New York City who had a residency at a major nightclub for several years doing this, as well as doing documentaries at the same time. So the aesthetic was very important to me. It was I didn't want to copy what other male filmmakers were doing in hip hop, because it didn't really speak to what we were trying to say. It was not our aesthetic. There are some similarities, but at the same time, it was also our voice, our vision, how we see the world. And that, I think, is reflected in the animation, the editing, and, you know, it is very much of that time. So a lot of the effects we used were, you know, something that I was using at the time, also in nightlife, and in other productions. But, you know, the water we swim in is literally the film industry, is literally hip hop, is literally nightlife. And in these worlds, my attitude was like, I've seen your work and it's not that good, you know? So I'm not going to sweat it if you're going to like try and come for me. Okay, but, you know, my work is in the permanent collection, you know, of the Getty Museum. Video art. Where's yours? You know, so to me, I'm like, I've got awards. I've won prizes at film festivals, like the Tribeca Film Festival. You know what? It doesn't mean anything unless you're creating a meaningful message and you're actually helping people, because prizes are the icing on the cake. Recognition is great, but it's not really helping anybody unless you're really furthering, you know, the message of hip hop, the 5 elements. You know, these are things I take seriously. They're not just fun things that people quote. For me, I see them more as an ethos. I see them more as like, these are the things that we focus on. And the fifth element is knowledge, so anybody can get to that. It's not a male or female thing. And the funny thing is, women are, especially at those times, we were sucking it up. We were like sponges. Like, if we're going to beat you, but how we're going to beat you is intelligently. We're not going to like fight you on the level that you want to fight. We're going to elevate it. We're going to make it mean something. We're going to have a message, have a point, make an impact, live beyond you and I. And
Right.
That's what we came through with this film. And the funny thing is, we started out with meeting these women on tape. And I remember when we started editing, every 5 minutes I'd be like, yo, to Rock. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is so amazing. And the first thing we edited was the dance trailer, which was kind of amazing. And I can show it to you, but it's really short. But to me, that was the visual impact that was like galvanizing. I said, Rock, we can tell the story, but also we need to show the athleticism. I mean, these women are incredible. This is stuff I wish I can't even do a cartwheel. And I'm like, I used to do like freestyle, but I'm all, standing, not on the floor, not, gonna harm myself in any way unless I'm, a brick heel. But I was not, when I saw what they could do, that's the limit of physical excellence. And I was just like, oh, wow, we have to show the physical excellence. So if you have a minute, I would like to show you that trailer.
All right.
Nice.
The music mix was done by my husband, Quickstep, because he also makes music. But yeah, he put his foot in it. There's Gladys Knight in there and everything.
Oh yeah, when you hear and see this.
B girl. That's us, girl. So running through our veins. We don't crash when we dance. We got style, rocking it from the Hudson to the Nile.
Underground.
Use creativity as our weapon. These moves would be here without the rhythm. To the females, the power is in your soul. Come rock with us.
Love that. Love that. Love
Yep. Yep. That's
That
crazy.
is my love letter to B girls. That edit. Yeah. I remember
That
when
stuff
we
was
did it.
fire. It was
And
fire.
we did that in one evening. We banged that out. We were just like pop, 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 because
That's
it
called
was
skills.
yeah, it was like we were picking the best, and every time it was like, wow, we gotta use this. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
skills, what I'm talking about. Your skills.
oh,
Not
hmm
you as well, but your skills. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were able to hit that like on the beat. So it was like, when the beat went down, that person was hitting a freeze or they were jumping back or something. So it was really like important to have an editor that understands rhythm and the
Right.
dance. Because if not, it was not gonna feel right when you watch it. So thanks.
well, yeah, the film entirely had its own choreography. It had its own pace, and it wasn't just some dancing, but it was the whole sort of arc of like how this all came together, Lady Champ's story,
Oh
and
yeah.
the unexpected ending, which was very unexpected. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, right.
yeah, that is like the intersection of the two, and this is the aesthetic I was talking about. It was a very hip hop film. It had a very clear hip hop aesthetic, and it had a pace, it had a passion, it had a movement, and that came from all of us. It didn't come from me because I can only work with what's there, and there was so much there. I mean, we literally could have made a 3-hour film out of the whole thing, but we just would have gone on and on and on and on. We could have
Yeah,
more
yeah.
women and more women. So that's why we're doing part 2, which we will talk about later. But yeah, I mean, the whole film had to work with dancing, had to replicate that feeling, and it wasn't like the dancing itself is like raw. It's not perfect, but it's so athletic and it's so amazing. And the editing had to have that kind of feeling, but also the finesse and elegance of our personal touch, So, and that came into the color scheme, that came into, all the different women that we worked with. Two Fly, who created, some of the initial graphics and also some of the graphics for the website. These are all women who have a very specific aesthetic
About that.
in their dance and in, their artwork or in emceeing, like some of the people who will be in this part 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like very experimental because, of course, like I said, like me and Quickstep came back from all of these trips. We didn't set out to make a film, so it was very we were exploring. We had 6 cities to go to. I had this money from the Ford Foundation. The book had just been published about B-Girls from Martha Cooper and Nika Kramer. So it was like, well, the book is out and we could do a book tour, but nobody's interested in that. So, okay, well, let's us do it. And then I know people across the country. And so I reached out to Aiko. I reached out to Candy from Florida, Floor Angels crew. Champ, of course, from Chicago, Asia in LA. So, Beta in Florida. So it was like trying to see, if I give you a little bit of money and you can do your own event, can we have a discussion where just bring everybody, MCs, DJs, and then, Aiko brought in Medusa and I think Pam the Funkstress, rest in peace. So, there were like these different practitioners who were weighing in, like graffiti writers at the B-Girl B. Like that also was like a good mix. It was Minneapolis and it was like this festival of women, all kinds, like the whole building got done in graffiti. So at that very first panel discussion, it was super experimental. Like what could we talk about? Like what shouldn't we talk about? I mean, there were moments where people were crying.
Yeah, very.
You remember that, right, Aiko? People were crying.
Yeah.
So
it meant a lot. It meant a lot to have that forum, to have that time to speak up.
Yeah. So, and then, the motherhood piece, Aiko, if you want to talk about, like, that's pretty deep. Most people don't think about that.
Yeah. Not only is it a sacrifice because you leave your babies, you go do these events, you go do, all of this work that needed to be done, and you're away from your children or your child, so you have to weigh that. It's as important, and you have to do it. And it could be the thing that helps with the future of your child, to give your child that sense of self, sense of women's strength and, just to give back to your community. There's all kinds of things, ways you can look at it when you're thinking about your kids. But yeah, people don't think about going to events or doing events, having children and having to sacrifice. You sacrifice time or you bring them with you, like I did,
Yeah, we definitely got to see Emiko. I think it was twice we got to see her. She's all big now and grown, and Lady Champ's children are all grown. Violet here from New York City, her sons are like, stars now. It's like time. Yeah, you can see how time passes in the growth of children, and Asia One's daughter, like in college now.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah, like Emiko, yeah. So,
so we're so old.
Not at all. You look like time has not passed, so don't even worry.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, that was Champ who just called, and she's driving. So she's gonna try and like pull over and find the email, but she'll be joining us. She will be joining us.
Okay.
But I wasn't gonna take it, and then I was like, oh, it says Lady Champ. Bye. But yeah, she should be joining us. But I think it's also like that other side, when people like hip hop is the perception is that it's youth culture, so it's young people who do hip hop. But young people have babies, young women get pregnant, young men have children too. So it's about exposing that real human aspect of these people who are like stars, celebrities, elite dancers, and sharing the challenges and sharing the sacrifice and the beauty of it. And I think that motherhood was super important. I don't have kids. I have a lot of dance kids, but so many of the B-girls and dancers that I know have kids, and I've witnessed their journey. So it was always going to be a subject and a topic to be included in the film. So I'm really happy that you were able to share, Aiko, your family with us, because even like your mom is in the film.
Yeah, my mom is in the film. That was awesome. And I'm so glad I got that footage. You guys were amazing to let her be a part of that. That's something that I can never get back. So it's something that's forever, which is awesome. Yeah.
It's like a time capsule, and she was so proud of you. Like, in case sometimes, relationships between moms and daughters or whatever, it may not be as friendly depending on where you're at in your life. But she definitely shared that she was proud of you and that she saw you always. You had so much determination, and that if you wanted to do something, you were going to struggle, but you were going to get it done. So I think there was that part of her testimonial that also, maybe, exposed something to the world, about motherhood, because sometimes as a mom, maybe you don't get to be as vulnerable and gentle, you're kind of always like on, worrisome and protection and, don't hurt my daughter, don't hurt my son. Yeah. And then here you have a mom who's like, no, she went at it, and she went and she succeeded. So I thought it was perfect. It was perfect for her to be, and I think it was your event, Aiko. I think it's the one that you held.
It was in San Jose, California, in the Bay Area. Yep, that's where we did it with Fifth Element. My girls organized and put it on. Yeah, Mary D, and Vanessa, and all the ladies. But yeah, Melissa, you were going to say something. I'm curious as to what you were going to say, because
it was just a necessary sort of progression of showing 3 generations and sort of the wholeness of your character in relationship to your mother and your daughter, as well as to the dance, because you could see a tension in all of these relationships, but it worked. It was like this necessary tension. And I think it was like oh my God,
lady. Just got off work, as you see, social distancing.
She got the social mask.
Yeah.
Yes, good to see your face. Oh my God.
Oh, I miss you guys.
Hi.
We miss you too. We miss you too. Wow.
I just got off of work.
So happy. So happy you're here. Melissa was just talking about like the natural progression of being able to include motherhood. If you're talking about women, you got to include motherhood. Like that's just, there's no question. You're going to talk about having your period, getting pregnant, daycare, maybe, baby daddy, if you want to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, okay.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yes, congratulations.
Yes, Champ just got married, y'all, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right. You're a married woman now. Welcome to the club.
Fun. Yeah, right? It's fun.
So did you want to talk about like the challenges or what you went through when you had your children, but you were also like B-girl and hip hop down and present, like, you know, what was the challenges maybe? Because you touched upon it a bit in the film, you know, when you talk about how your body changes. Did you want to mention that a little bit for maybe dancers that are watching now or?
Not only your body changes, but just you know, you have to be a mom and you want to be a B girl. So it's like you gotta find time to practice or time to go out to battles or time to like, you know, it's hard all around. The body wise, I think I did pretty good. Because I was so young, I had my daughter when I was 17 and my son when I was 21, I was able to bounce back quick. But yeah, it was hard with my son because I had a C-section. So, you know, you have to heal first before you
Wow.
do anything. But yeah, it was hard. but my kids, they came with me everywhere. So they were always at practice. They were always at events. You know, they were out and about.
Was their father also part of the hip hop scene?
He was also a b-boy and he did graffiti. So he was also involved that way. And it's funny because now my daughter's a DJ. So most have her.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Watch out.
And that was part of Aiko's story as well, because her daughter was starting to do some of the dance moves, and we included that in the film.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, you can see the next generation. So it's awesome that your daughter became a DJ.
Yeah, and it's funny because both of my kids, they know the culture, they know the music, but none of them dance. None of them ever wanted to dance. They don't care for it. But when I would bring their friends around, their friends are like, "Your mom is doing headspins?" Like, and my kids, I guess it's my mom. You know, it's normal.
Normal.
Yeah.
You set a pretty high bar, though. That's, you know, it was kind of hard. Hence the like champ.
Yeah.
That's right. There's no question. Champ.
Yeah. I mean, I think when we went to the B-Girl B in 2006, Champ, you were busting out 2000s and headspins. You were definitely like in it. It was such a beautiful connection. By the way, G.I. Jane is giving you a shout, Champ. She's saying hello.
Oh, how's she doing?
She's pretty good. You know, she's working as a school teacher, but she works, she's a painter, so she teaches fine arts and she helps teachers learn how to teach. So yeah, she's still in Jersey City and she's still active. She like works with the Dynamic Breaking League, which is a kids league of breaking. So yeah, hopefully she'll jump in tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't know. People have so many different schedules. It's hard. We are having a reunion, a full cast reunion. So we will have Baby Love, right, Aiko?
Yes.
We'll have Baby Love.
She said almost positively, but you know, her son has a game. So just in case, we'll see. But hopefully, yes, she's meaning to go. She wants to.
And Vendetta and Severe.
What time is that?
It's at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is
I get up 30, but I can tune in just like now.
Yeah, you can.
That's good.
You can. And I'm hoping the other like Violet, Peaches, I'm hoping you know, Sunanda from London can jump in, Big Girl Angel. There's people who like showed up. They did cameos in the film, you know. They spoke or said something, you know, so hoping that other women are able to jump back and say hi and what they're up to, you know. So I hope y'all that are tuning in will also tune in tomorrow. It will be right here. All the ladies say Facebook group page.
It's gonna be fun.
So putting this together because I think we really needed this. I feel like I'm so happy about this reunion. Like, I don't know. I feel like we needed it due to, you know, the quarantine and all that.
Right,
so
right.
Yeah.
Like virtual.
And the good thing is we're going to record it and we're going to put it in part 2. So it's you know, the idea is that the story didn't end with part 1. The story continues with part 2. And that's not just you. It's, Champ, you froze.
I know.
come back. But it's not you guys, it's also the next generation. It's other women that, you know, we didn't get to include in part 1 that we're including in part 2. And I think it's necessary because I think it's important that the younger generations understand that there was a whole group of women that came before them and paved the way for them. And I'm sure a lot of them do know. I mean, everybody knows rock. But
not everybody, you'd be surprised.
But
we lost her.
We lost Champ.
She'll be back. But the idea was, you know, just to make sure that we got as many stories as possible and as many perspectives, because the story keeps changing. Hey,
you're back. Magic.
Keeps changing. Like, you know, we're getting older. You know, what is it like, you know, when we look at the 5 elements from an aging perspective? What is it like when we look at hip hop from an aging perspective?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think we're aging so well.
I know, girl.
Besides the, because I'm not gonna lie, I have arthritis in my knees, but that was due to the paralysis. But besides little things like that, like inside, I think physically, because I still can get down. I still do stuff in the basement. I'm like, damn, I'm broke, you know. So I feel physically, I feel powerful. I feel like, you know, youthful. But inside, I'd be like, ew, my bone.
I know. There's always that, you know, but there's like more wisdom and more experience now. And I think some of the girls we're trying to highlight are working right now, like J-Lo Rock and Mantis, Integrity. Integrity's from, I think, Connecticut, but she spent some time in New York City. She did one of our exhibition battle fundraisers for the film. She battled Mantis, so we're thinking about maybe having a Zoom with the 2 of them, showing them some of their footage from their battle, and including that. You know, J-Lo Rock battled Erin from Chicago, B-Girl Erin. You know who that is, right? Yep. So we'll probably use some of that footage, and we'll talk again, like about spirituality, about battling, about, you know, how do you fit into hip hop. We have DJ Pearly and MC Purple Haze from Newark. So, you know, we're trying to like build a bridge between who's doing it now, who was doing it then, and, you know, how do we continue the work, continue the fire. So part 2's coming. Of course, we got to raise some funds, but we need the reunion first, you know?
It's going to be so nice. I can't wait.
Yeah. We'll probably need you all to submit some footage of yourselves. That would be great. Since we can't go out.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to actually continue the story because I think it's going to be, you know, we're gonna do an upgrade on some of the graphics. We're gonna do some, you know, cool things with new technology that we have available. And I mean, I remember for part 1, we actually did set up some pretty unusual shoots. We got you guys out to 5 points.
Yes.
No longer there anymore.
I love that.
Yeah, that shoot was awesome. And, you know, how did you guys, Rock, you had quick got permission for us to go there, right?
Well, we knew the guy who was managing it, Mears, and so he's an old school graffiti writer. So we were just like, look, we're doing this effort, this project to uplift B-girls. Is it okay? And he was like, oh, of course. Yeah, come through. So, you know, that also helps him or the space to live on. And look, now it doesn't exist anymore. So it was definitely a good look, you know, to have some pictures and stuff from that space.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Oh, by the way, Aiko, Kat Slattery is saying she has some old pictures from the Pro-Am Miami of you. She's going to look for it. Kat Slattery, I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, Kat Slattery. But yeah, she'll probably send you some photos. Aiko's on Facebook, so, you know.
Yes.
Inbox
Thank
her.
you so much.
But
I love that. Yes.
Yeah, that photo shoot was great, Melissa. You caught Lex with her son,
Elijah. I'm going to
He-
screen share now some of those images. So you all
Yeah, I had tried to reach out to Lex, but I don't have a contact for her. She's in Philly. Remember, she was the one who was saying about how, you know, it's difficult for her to be like B-girling. She's not on Facebook anymore, and she wasn't on Instagram.
I didn't even. Okay, I didn't even recognize that, but she's still there. Yeah, look it.
That's the whole building.
Oh,
there you go.
I love it. Oh, that dope art, man. I can't.
That's the Veer right there, Vendetta.
Yep. Severe Vendetta.
Champ, baby love.
Champ in the paint. She looks good in paint, Champ.
And these
I love it.
So,
some of the group shots, which I thought were quite amazing.
yeah.
So fun.
It was good. It was good. We even had some B-boys come out and like help you. I think Atomic, Iron Man was there for the Carlos for the Bronx Museum shoot.
I have that images too. Hold on, let me load the Bronx.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where you guys stayed in that hotel that was super noisy. Yeah, that one.
Oh my God! Right,
Remember that one? Oh my God. I made up for it though. I got you guys a really nice posh hotel though downtown when we premiered at Lincoln Center. I made up for it.
You did. You did.
It was like funding streams. We're like, oh, we got money? No, now we have no money. Okay, we have some money, no money. But you guys are champs.
Ride or die, huh? We did what we had to do. Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you guys remember this shoot, but this was pretty amazing.
It was.
We did some, and kids were always a part of every shoot, every cipher, every event that we ever shot at.
Oh, look at Lex right there. You see Lex? She's there with Champ.
Yeah, right there.
With her son. Yeah. I don't know. I have no contact for her, but yeah.
Her in years.
I know, huh?
Yeah,
and
her
there
son
we
was
are, on the floor taking pictures.
Doing your thing. That's right.
Yeah.
That was me getting down. That's how I get down.
That's right. You get down. You definitely get down. So yeah, I mean, we went to so many places. I mean, Champ, you had your you had a battle, I think you had. Aiko had a battle. Candy had a performance, remember? Asia One had a panel during her B-Boy Summit.
Yep.
I think that was all the activations that we had. We did Minneapolis twice. We went back after Champ had her medical condition. We went back.
Don't give it away.
Then we had a show. We did a show. Then Aruna flew us out to Rotterdam.
Aruna, is she gonna be part of the reunion?
She'll try. I tried to make it early enough so that people in Europe can, not have to, stay up late. But I'm hoping Aruna will definitely show up. She said, yeah, I sent her the link that you sent me, Melissa. So, but yeah, she said she got us out there for a festival she was doing called Street Science. Remember the shirts had the big S on it?
Yeah, I still have mine.
Oh man, I don't know where mine is, but I know, Champ, you were like just coming back to us. You were doing some little up rock and you did some handstands.
Yep.
Yeah.
You were just coming back.
I feel like I can do so much more now, but my knee, man, is one knee, and I have arthritis.
I know. You're inspiring, though. So many people who watch this film, I show it occasionally to a community center or a festival or something or college. Everybody's like, oh my God, I have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
They're like, this girl, she got kids and she was paralyzed and she came back. What?
Yeah, I hope to inspire as many.
You just gave away the whole film. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but yeah,
thank
it's
you.
so beautiful. It's so short. We got to take advantage every day and do the best we can.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the message. That is the message. But so yeah, I mean, from this point forward, we should stay more in touch. Maybe submit footage to Melissa because we can't go nowhere for a while. But the website is done. Melissa did a remake, an upgrade.
Okay.
Yep. She even put a tribute to DJ Pam.
I can show you that right now.
I'm gonna show it right now.
Yes.
Let me get it.
We actually have some footage from one of her last events. Or was it the last event, or was it? Hold on a second here. All right, 1 second. Here we go. So this is the tribute that we have on our front page. To Pam The Funkstress, also known as Purple Pam.
Purple Pam.
Purple Pam, and purple is one of our favorite colors. So We actually have some footage of her at B Girl B 2017. So I'm just going to play that right now. The audio's a little, this is 2017.
Oh, girl. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was amazing. And she, towards the end, she was working for the Purple King, Prince.
Yes.
So that was like a big
Yeah.
move. And we were all so proud of her. So proud. It was like,
Yes.
wow.
And she was
I love that picture.
so down to earth,
Yeah. So that was a definite loss. Thank you, Aiko, for some of the photos you sent us of her. She had gotten that award that the local artist, I think her name was Katrina, I forgot her last name, created by hand in Minneapolis.
And we were with her, and I remember her saying, "Man, this is so wonderful. I never thought I would see something like this." And she was just so happy. She was so happy about that. Yeah. Thank you, Melissa, for putting that together. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love all the pictures.
We can't forget some of the leading women in this area. Hip hop is a very specific culture, a very specific group of people. Right now, like, for example, there are people in hip hop who are getting older and passing away, and we can't forget them. We have to honor them. They're the reason we're here. So, we have to keep the flame lit. We have to remember people who really pioneered, because hip hop didn't exist until the late 70s, early 80s when it first started. And for women to be involved in it was from the beginning, but it was also a struggle. One of the other films that I made about women in hip hop was The Art of Love and Struggle. And that whole film is about the 5 elements and about how women struggle to be a part of a culture that kind of rejects them or back in the day objectifies them. Now we objectify ourselves. So I guess that's cool. But back in the day, you were like, they didn't take you seriously. If you dressed too hot, you were a video Gucci, or they assumed so because you were on I would be on these different music video sets, and I was the production coordinator, or I was, production manager, or I was shooting something, and they were like, "Oh, are you, one of the video?" And I'm no, dude.
Wow.
I'm working here.
Wow.
So we have to remember all of these people who came before us, and we have to keep in mind that they really paved the way for everyone else who comes after us, and we have to be grateful. There are cultural ancestors is the best way, I guess, to put it. They are basically our root. The root of all of this great culture is like super. It's necessary. We can't forget it. We can't and we also can't abandon it to other people. We can't say, "Oh, go ahead, just scoop it up." Here, you've never been involved in this culture. Go ahead, run with it.
Yeah. I mean, and especially now with all this, the Black Lives Matter movement and everything, there really is an important responsibility that we have to make sure that the Black and brown voices are centered and are always celebrated for their contributions. And so this film definitely had that sense. Of course, now more than ever, we always want to pay tribute to the past. But the women in particular, we sometimes just get lost in the sauce because we uplift our brothers so much. We have to be able to refocus the camera so that they see regular women like us. We don't have to be all polished, done up, and it's just regular women who love to be creative. That's it. That's all you really need to succeed. And that's what our ancestors did, So I'm so proud of everybody, you all who are here. Third World Newsreel, Martha Diaz, Black Rob. We had so much help. You know, we had Corinne Manabat, who was the other editor, who stepped in for a second. There's just so many names to name. And then when you think about all the women who were dancing in this, Nadia from Russia, Candy from Washington Heights, Frack from Florida, from France. They were just Genesis from the UK. Dora, who does the head spins and the dance. Big girl Shorty, who also does the head spins. There was just so many women who were captured in this film. That's why it's like a time capsule, and it's so important, you know, to now uplift and remind everybody, hey, we were here. Don't forget, you know. So hopefully tomorrow, you know, with the reunion, we'll catch up with Beta and Aruna and a couple of other heads. But this has been so beautiful and valuable to me. I'm gonna be buzzing. I'll probably call you guys tonight. Like, how'd you feel? What'd you think?
Yes.
You know. But thanks again, Melissa, too, for all your hard work.
Glad that
You
I was
edited
able
the
to
film.
participate.
Melissa edited the film, took the pictures. She did the website. She's like super, super, so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wears many hats.
Well, we're not done yet. Our work isn't done yet. We're not dead yet, and we've got still lots of stuff to cover. So, you know, it might be a part 3, you know, and it might be
You
from
never
another
know.
film. So who knows?
Yeah. And Aiko's in Texas now, so it's like Aiko gets to like work out of Texas. She's not in San Jose.
Yeah.
So that's the other change. She also got married. Hey.
Yes, got married 2 years now.
Also, I was
4 years.
Oh wow.
4 years next week.
Woo! Happy anniversary.
Flying by. It's just flying by. Yeah.
It is. So proud of you all. Thank you.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate, you know, again, being involved, being connected, continuing to connect and being involved. I'm here for whatever. You guys, anyone watching want to inbox me on Facebook, feel free. I'm always here to help. Always. I'm still doing my thing. A little slower, you know, pace now because I'm in Texas. I really don't, there's not a lot of, I'm just getting into this thing. I'm still working my way around. I'm involved.
And don't forget to vote, people. Please vote.
Yes.
Please. I'm on everybody's butt. Please vote.
Yes.
I take my parents. I take my kids. I'm out there this year. I'm gonna bring hot chocolate and coffee, hand it out. But I just people to vote.
Yes.
Definitely do that. Natalie Crew is saying hi. Xavier El Mundo is saying hi. We have a lot of people just showing love. Victoria James, she's from East Harlem. So there's a lot of love, a whole lot of love. So I hope you guys can feel it.
So tomorrow you all are doing the reunion, and that's going to be on you all's Facebook Live page. And I think that was posted in the comments in the chat. So please, I'm looking forward to it. Like meeting you, you know, like you women have come to life from having seen you all in the film. I feel like I have known you all, and then I feel like actually, even though this was live and a bunch of people are being a part of it, that this was very intimate, and to get to know you all like on this whole other level, it was such a treat. I do need to thank some people. So be on behalf of Third World Newsreel, the documentary forum at City College, Full Circle Productions, and Family Pictures USA. Thank you. You all were our hosts for this live stream. And then I also want to thank the filmmakers. So Rock, Melissa, and then also Aiko, and then Lady Champ. I'm so excited that you were able to join us. And then we must give a huge shout out to Quentin Parker, who is our tech director, and Roseli Torres, who is behind the scenes, managing, like all the chats and everything, and like posting. So listen, you all already heard it. There's going to be a part 2. You need to go ahead and sign up and follow them on all their social media. Sign up for the website. And then last but not least, I just want to tell you that Third World Newsreel. So September 22nd, Tuesday, 6 p.m., we're going to do film fundraising, which is something that Rock talked a lot about. So it's film fundraising during pandemic times with filmmaker Yvonne Wilburn. And so she has talked with us before, and she's really fantastic. And then if I could just squeeze one more in, I know it's 7 o'clock, but September 24th, Thursday, 7 p.m., Summer 68 panel talk after all-day film screening. Please see our website, twn.org, our Facebook page, and more. And so I shouldn't be the last one to say goodbye, but I'm going to like turn it over to Rock and Melissa to close us
Sure.
out.
Thank you, and Jeanette. And of course, Third World Newsreel is the spot, twn.org. You definitely want to go check out. They have so many amazing films, not just about hip hop, but they have a lot about hip hop. They got Tony Blackman, La Bruja, there's a whole bunch of them on there. But I wanted to give a big shout to a graffiti writer, Shiro One. She was definitely there throughout some of the stuff that we did. And G.I. Jane gave us a whole paragraph of how she feels that all of y'all are important. I don't want to read it because I know we're at 7:00. But thank you, G.I. Jane. Thank you for the love. Hope to see you all tomorrow at the All the Ladies Say Facebook group page at 2 p.m. Eastern time. You'll get to see the rest of us, the rest of the cast. And I know some of you are complaining because you weren't able to ask questions, K1 and JT. I know, I'm not sure why you can't make comments, but I know you were watching, so thank you. Thank you for the love. That's our brothers right there. So thank you again. Melissa, if you want to say goodbye or anybody else, I'm good.
Yeah.
I miss you, Champ.
I miss you too. I miss all of you.
Miss all of you. Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Bye. Bye. Bye.